So your app needs a QR code scanner. I get it, and I'm here to help you. Welcome to App Monster. My name is Jonas, and in this episode, we're taking a look at how to implement a native QR code scanner into your app. So as always, we're here in a Figma file. You can find that in the description below to duplicate for yourself. And we have two screens here, one home screen, which is just to represent what the rest of the app would look like. And then we have a button which triggers our actual scan page. I called that visor page because this will be where the actual camera footage will be displayed. So first, let's have a quick look at the button. As you can see, the button has the action tag scanqr. This is an action tag that can only be used for this QR scanner. And what this will do is it looks in your file for a page that has the QR page-visor tag. So you can see that we have that here. So this button, when triggered, looks for this page. So we don't need any linking. As you can see, I'm here in the prototyping tool and there's nothing linked here. So you don't need to link that like that. That's unnecessary. The visor page has this QR page visor tag here. I also added a transition, which is optional. You can take a look at my transition video if you want to have more information on that. Inside of this visor page, the camera footage will be displayed. So this page will access the camera that's built into your phone and it will display it here. But we have an overlay over that, so you can see that we have a container inside of our page. We always need that container, and we gave it the aspect ratio screen, so this will always be fitted to the screen your user has, so you won't have any scrolling or unnecessary portions in your screen. Then we have this action close tag. This is bound to the icon, this back icon we have here. Again, don't use the prototyping tool to lead back, just use the action close tag here, like you would do in a modal, for example. The modal menu also has no connection to the rest, so it's just triggered by a button and then can be closed with this action close tag. Then lastly, we have this dark mask here, which has an interesting tag called shape fill. This can be compared to our aspect ratio screen here. Like I explained here, aspect ratio screen fits the whole content to the screen of the user. So no matter what aspect ratio the user has, if it's on a big or a small phone, this gets fitted. The same thing happens with shape fill, but this time for an SVG. As you can see, when we open that here, we have this visor area, which has a pass-through layer, so nothing will be displayed here. And then we have this light overlay, which will just help us make the user understand that the QR code needs to go into this square here. We can't have the QR code anywhere else. This will be the area that will be scanned for QR codes. But of course, we're going to have a look at that in a live setting later. Before we go into Bravo Vision to check that out, I just want to point out that if you are debugging your app inside of Android Studio here, the same thing goes if you're debugging on your Mac. You have to allow the emulator to use your webcam, for example. For that, we're going to select our AVD manager, like we always do, to open our emulator. And inside, you find that I have this Pixel 2 here as my device. And when you go to Actions and then Edit, you can allow in the advanced settings that your camera uses the webcam. You might find Virtual Scene pre-selected here, which is extremely cool, but this is not what we want to test out our QR code. So we're going to click webcam here. You can, of course, skip that step if you are debugging on your actual phone. Now in Bravo Studio, we don't need any more bindings, so you don't have to bind any content here. this is unnecessary. This works out of the box. Okay, so our QR code scanner here is opened. And when I click on scan QR code, you'll remember this triggers the visor page. So this should open up my webcam here. So when I click here on scan QR code, this should open up my webcam. And as you can see, we have something scan here. This indicates that it's scanning, but let's test that out with a real QR code. So I just generated one here. And as you can see, this directly links to my YouTube channel page. While we're right here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, but you can see that it works. So when you're generating a QR code like I did here, make sure to always generate it using HTTP or HTTPS in front of it, so Bravo realizes this is a link and not just some information. I have also received the question if it's possible to get any barcode numbers inside of an Airtable, for example, and this is currently not possible because Bravo directly opens everything they find, so Bravo can't distinguish between a URL or some other information. So this is currently only possible for links. This is the end of this very quick QR code episode. As you've seen, it's very easy to implement, but if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I'll answer as quickly as possible. As always, you can find the Figma file of this episode below the video. Feel free to duplicate it and use it for your own QR code scanner. Send the apps to me if you want any feedback, and also make sure to subscribe to get the most out of Bravo Studio. Thank you for watching and keep Bravo rising.